Okay, so let's dive in. We're looking at the October film releases, and honestly, the big headline is kind of spooky and maybe a little unexpected.
Yeah, definitely. Black Phone 2 leading the box office. I mean, considering the first movie, well, the killer didn't exactly make it out alive.
Right, so how does that even happen? A sequel where the main villain is, dead. That's the puzzle, especially in what's felt like a quiet month.
Well, the numbers are interesting. It opened at $26.5 million domestically,
Okay.
which actually beat the original's opening back in 2022, just slightly, but still. And it won the weekend, which the first one didn't manage.
Hmm. But wasn't the budget higher this time?
Yeah, that's the trade-off. They spent more, around $30 million compared to, I think, $18 million for the first. So a bigger gamble.
Okay, but money aside, the story.
Mhm.
How do you bring back the grabber? That needs a serious twist.
Absolutely. And apparently the director, Scott Derrickson, wasn't keen on a sequel at first.
Right.
Until Joe Hill, who wrote the original story, pitched him this idea. The grabber calls Finn from hell.
Wow. Okay, so they just went full supernatural.
Exactly. That pitch opened the door. The story jumps ahead 4 years. Finn's in high school, dealing with everything that happened.
Still the main character.
Well, yes and no. It seems like his sister, Madeleine McGraw's character, actually takes more of the focus this time. She's at some kind of Christian camp, snowed in, and having these terrifying dreams, connecting back to the grabber,
So it was her turn to be in peril.
pretty much. And they apparently deepen the backstory too, connecting the grabber to the death of Finn and Gwen's mother, making it, much more personal.
But how did that land with critics?
Yeah.
Because that calling from hell thing sounds tricky.
Yeah, it was divisive. Some critics felt it turned the grabber into, I think the quote was a low-rent Freddy Krueger.
Ouch.
Yeah, lacking the sort of dark humor, maybe. And a common complaint was that the film felt, well, needlessly long.
Interesting. Okay, so while that's happening, Ethan Hawke, the actor playing the grabber, is having maybe the weirdest month ever.
Oh, it's incredible. The duality is just
Wow.
striking.
Right. He's this demonic, masked killer in a hit horror sequel.
And at the same time, he's starring as Lorenz Hart in Richard Linklater's new drama, Blue Moon.
Which is about.
It's set literally on one night, March 31st, 1943, the opening night of Oklahoma, and it's about the end of the Rogers and Hart songwriting partnership.
Because Rogers teamed up with Hammerstein for Oklahoma.
Exactly. So the film explores Hart's side of it, dealing with alcoholism, his identity, watching his legendary partnership dissolve. Hawke plays him as deliciously dyspeptic, according to one review.
So one minute he's terrorizing kids from beyond the grave.
Yeah.
The next he's this tortured, real-life historical figure watching his career crumble. That's quite the range.
It really is. It dominates the conversation in a way.
Okay, so Hawke's got horror and drama covered. What else made a splash or maybe didn't this October? Let's talk about Good Fortune,
Ah, yes. Aziz Ansari's directing debut.
the comedy with Keanu Reeves as an angel.
That's the one. An inept angel, apparently, who messes up a body swap. R-rated comedy. Got decent reviews, actually.
The box office.
Not so great. Opened to just $6.2 million.
Wow.
Yeah. It just shows, again, how tough it is for original comedies, especially character-based ones, to break through in theaters right now.
It really seems that way.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and the other big one people were watching for, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Yes. Highly anticipated. And the buzz is really strong. People are calling it a perfect match between story and muse.
That sounds very del Toro.
Totally. You know, his focus on the soulful outcast, the monster who's more human than the humans, apparently this fits right in, capturing the novel's swoony, intense spirit.
So looking at all of this, the surprise horror sequel, the intense drama, the struggling comedy, the anticipated monster movie, what's the big takeaway here?
Well, a couple things seem clear. First, horror franchises are definitely seen as reliable bets for studios, even if they need supernatural gimmicks, like bringing villains back from the dead to carry these slower weekends.
Like Black Phone 2.
Exactly. But at the same time, there's clearly still an appetite for serious, challenging drama. Look at the interest in Blue Moon, even if it's niche, and the excitement for Del Toro's Frankenstein. Audiences want depth.
So it's not just about franchises.
No, definitely not. People still show up for unique visions, whether it's a classic adaptation or an intimate period piece.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what should we leave people thinking about?
Well, maybe think about this. Ethan Hawke's month. Does an actor taking on such wildly different roles, back to back, a terrifying killer and a deeply troubled artist, does that kind of transformation become its own form of storytelling? Maybe even more compelling than the individual movies sometimes.
Hmm. Is the actor's journey the real story? That's definitely something to mull over.